it's just Kamala Harris, the past few weeks has not shown me as a political analyst that she can basically hold herself accountable in a debate. Like, she's not going to perform to the expectations of a lot of the mainstream media or a lot of the sort of, what can I say, some of the political pundits on X. She's not going to perform to that level because she's done 2 interviews where in one of them, it was pre-recorded. She had to look at notes. That's why she was looking down like this. She was looking at notes. And today, she actually went on a radio show. I think it was in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was like a Univision radio show. I don't know what it was, but it was some sort of radio show. And then when she was talking and responding to the question, you literally hear in the background, like super audibly, like it's not even like, oh, maybe you didn't hear it. No, you literally hear the page flip over, like you hear it super loud. It flips over and she's saying the first words and she stops and then flips the page and then continues to speak. So it's very obvious that she's really relying on these notes. And even when she wants to ignore the press, she'll wear headphones and listen to music while wanting to ignore the press. Like, it's just really, to me, I cannot see her performing well in a debate. Now, funny enough, the muted mics are going to help her. She thinks that the unmuted mic would help her, but it's not. This is actually going to help her a little bit more, but Donald Trump can be the measured one, and Donald Trump has been on record saying, oh, I'm going to let her talk, which is very, very important. If he lets her talk, he's going to win that debate because she has positions from before that are not popular at all. Banning fracking, reparations for African Americans, that has like a 70% disapproval rate. I think even among blacks, it has like a 25-30% like negative favorability. Even Hispanics, it's like a majority negative approval rating. If she brings that up during the debate, it's going to hurt her pretty bad because that's very unpopular. Then on top of that, the border wall, her aides say she wants to do a border wall now or have a fence or something. On the economy, 25% unrealized capital gains. It's just very ridiculous stuff. And she's flip-flopping on policies that she already had. And what I think Trump's going to have to do in the debate, and this is what I think he's going to do, he's going to let her talk, say her new talking point position, and he's going to be like, well, why did you believe this before? Did you change your mind? And I think one of the points, this is the big killer. This is going to be, I think, the main event in the debate. This is going to be like one of the big highlights of the debate. If Donald Trump or the moderators bring up Joe Biden and talk about how he's not there anymore and how he is, not there for certain reasons. Maybe the media says, oh, he stepped down for the good of the country. Maybe they are like, oh, yeah, there's a majority of Americans that feel like he was mentally incapacitated. Kamala Harris, what do you have to say to the American people about that? Because you worked with the incumbent president for a couple years. Do you have any comment on that? And if she says, oh, yeah, no, he's as strong as ever, he's smart as ever, Donald Trump can be like, well, then why isn't he here right now? He could barely talk. And what is she going to say? No, he's just fine. He's not even there anymore. The whole reason why they had to get rid of him is because he couldn't even speak on the debate stage. That's the whole reason why they had to get rid of him. Now, it's funny watching people because afterwards they were like, oh, now the landslide's going to happen. But the landslide was already going to happen. The only thing that debate did was put New Jersey into play and made New York like basically a 5-point race. That's the only thing that debate thing. The only thing, the debate was so bad, it actually made New Jersey competitive. Usually debates don't really have that effect, but that's why in the live tracker while the debate was going on, I was flipping between New Jersey or at least left it blank because I knew that's where that was headed because it was just getting that bad. Like it was that bad. So looking at the debate, Donald Trump has the arguments he needs to defeat Harris in the debate. Like there's so many things that she can attack him on. And he could just be like, even like the abortion thing, he could just be like, dude, it's not a presidential issue anymore. It's a state's issue. It doesn't matter. Why are you running on killing babies? Why do you want to make it legal at the federal level? And he's going to bring up the Roe v. Wade stuff. He's going to bring that up. He's going to say, oh, all these people, all these scholars didn't want it. And now I left it to the states, and now it's up to them to decide their own policies, which is popular among Americans. That is a consensus. That's a consensus. States' rights on abortion is popular nationwide, not by a lot, but there is a plurality. There's a plurality of voters that find that somewhat popular, and it's gonna help him out. It's gonna help him out to neutralize that issue. He's got the economic advantage on her for sure. And when it comes to illegal immigration, oh man, forget it. It's gonna, you're the border czar. Why did you let all these border crossings happen? Why is the fentanyl crisis spiking? Why are all these drugs coming in? What is she gonna say? Oh, that wasn't my fault. I wasn't the border czar. Like what? I'm telling you, the setup of the debate and where we're going in, it's not looking good for them. It's not looking good for Harris. It's the same thing with Biden. It's the same exact thing. I knew that debate was going to go bad for him. I just didn't think that they were going to forget to give him his medicine. But I still knew that debate was going to go bad anyway. You could argue that if they let Biden talk and if he was more coherent and he actually got his points across, you could even argue that that debate may have even gotten worse for him because there would have been a lot of things he may have said that probably would have been very unpopular with voters, and that actually could have hurt him even further. So it seems like, based on everything that we've seen right now, Never Ending Era just pointed out a good point in the chat that they did not give Harris the notes, they didn't give her the sit down, and they didn't give her the unmuted mic. So it's the same rules as the last debate. And that's going to put her at a very big disadvantage. Kamala Harris has never been good in unscripted moments like this. Never. She's never had a killer moment in a stage like this. It's also reported that she has really big anxiety problems. Like, it's a legit thing. Like, it's been reported that she's had to have had mock dinners. She has to practice having dinner so that when she has dinner with big donors, she doesn't like have a panic attack or something. So based on what I've heard, based on the interviews that I've seen, based on the previous years of the administration, I don't think she's going to be equipped to even come close to winning that debate with Donald Trump. And I think it's going to help him out. Now, depends on how badly she gaffes. That's where you get into a little bit of the specifics. But I do think Donald Trump's going to win that debate. I 100% believe he is. And it may give him a polling boost. It may possibly give him a boost. Maybe there is a response bias. But luckily, if you're following me at onpointpolitics.com, you can actually see our adjusted average by party, and you can actually track that. And it's actually a lot better because we're eliminating as much polling bias as we possibly can from the polls. So if there's a response bias in Donald Trump's favor after the debate, we're going to be able to account for that. So that's what's better than looking at RCP, looking at 538. Go on my website, onpointpolitics.com. We have basically an odds map of where the states are going. We have the national average, and we have something new that we just added today that's going to help me go over my analysis of the Electoral College.